Hi, GenderBlenders. Welcome to week 124. This week's topic says here will be a throwback from week 13. That's before I started. Relationships. Your ideas and options on relationships before, during, and or after transition. If you're in a relationship, what are the positive and negative effects transition plans have had? What are your plans for future relationships with regards to who you look for, how and when you will come out, etc. So this is Steffi, and I have Stephenie with me.
Hey everyone.
And since she's living with me, I thought I'd answer and let her answer too. So I'm going to turn it over to Stephenie for a minute or two to let her introduce herself.
Well, of course, hi, I'm Stephenie with My Transit Life, and of course you know who Steffi is, and it's wonderful living here in California, and there's a lot that we're trying to do, and we're going to accomplish a lot, and I do appreciate being able to participate here with GenderBlenders and with Steffi. So, Steffi, let's get it going.
Okie dokie, thank you, Stephenie. And let's see, for relationships, I've seen, start off with the obvious sexual relationship, and I've seen the sexual preference reported change throughout our transition. And for me, indeed, it has. For some people, it doesn't. Some people, it drifts around back and forth. I find myself more attracted to men. I want that warmth, cuddle, held, protection, kind of a thing. But I've seen, all of us trans folk, I think, are at some level bisexual, which means at some level we can at least tolerate and at best want both partners, kind of a thing. Not simultaneously. Well, not necessarily simultaneously. Could be, but nevertheless. So, be prepared if you're just getting started on transition. Things may change for you, may drift around. Early on, I pulled myself out of the dating pool. My wife died. I, at one point in time in my life, thought I was a heterosexual male. Sorry. And I figure it's not fair to see someone morph right in front of you. Someone that you don't know before and things like that. Now, this would be very different if you had known the person. And if they were watching you change, but they knew you were going to change and saw the same person staying there, same being, but yet changing physical form. Many folks, that's fine by them. And that's good, because that way a relationship can be maintained if you have a really nice, strong relationship. So that, could go either way. If you have a new relationship, it's likely that you're not going to understand that, oh my, this isn't the person that I thought I liked, because now they're a different person. So it can change. Positive and negative effects on plans. Since I'm way more comfortable being myself, who isn't? I figure that whoever I have as a partner is going to end up getting a better deal out of it. Whether that's male, whether that's female, that's irrelevant almost at this point.
That's so true.
Because we're ourselves, so we're going to be able to produce a better, stronger relationship than when we were fighting brain and body. The negative side of that is, on the legal side, it's much more difficult being a part of the LGBT community to have a legalized relationship. Be that hetero, be that same sex. It don't matter. You're screwed either way. Plans. Plans tend to be fluid. I'd love to find a sexual partner for life. I don't know when or if I will. We'll see. So I'm just going to keep an open mind. See what happens. So with that, now since we get 2 for 1, I'm going to turn it over to Stephenie and let her talk a little bit about her thoughts on this matter. Stephenie, take it away.
Oh, thank you, Stephenie. Well, everyone, as you know, there are a lot of questions here that we've been asked, and of course this week's questions, one was relationships before, during, and after transition. Well, I can say that one thing about relationships. First of all, you're kind of expected to have a relationship on one side versus the other before transitioning. Although generally those types of relationships are doomed to fail from the very beginning, which obviously mine was. There were some positives out of it. I mean, I have 2 children that love me very much and that I adore, and who are very accepting of me. In fact, as my oldest son said, that explains a lot. So, but I was a single parent. I had custody of my children, and though I wasn't allowed to transition during the time I was raising them because of Ohio's laws, they're both very accepting, and I just lived as Mr. Mom. So it worked for a while, and I was kind of accepting of it because I didn't know if anything else was ever going to happen. But then I learned that it would, and was able to begin my transition. Almost by force, but still yet the same. So second question actually is, what are the positive and negative effects of your transition? I'd say negative effects are pretty much primarily if you don't have the expectations and don't have the knowledge and don't do your homework regarding what transition is all about and what to expect, because let's face it, this is something we're not educated by our parents regarding our gender, our actual gender. So those things can creep up on you and have a negative connotation on you, or unexpected, and you won't know how to handle it unless you have done your study and know what the positives and negatives are regarding the emotions, your changes, the physical changes that you're going to be going through, your feelings, and you don't want to over-expect things they say are very valuable and very variable regarding your age. Well, I kind of blow that one out of the water. You've seen what I looked like prior to, so I mean, I had made an awful lot of changes, and they were all for the positive. And I'm not a young spring chicken anymore, even though I think I am. So, positive
to be a teenager.
That's true. Again, the positive effects of being obviously are being yourself. And finally not having to hide it and having to deny it, or if you ever had to deny it. I never had to deny it other than deny it to myself, because it wasn't good, nor was I able to allow my siblings, brothers and sisters, to know. As you know, sibling rivalries can backfire on you. Mm-hmm. So everything's been positive as far as that's concerned. All the expectations and more have occurred to me, and I'm very, very pleased with what's going on, and I'm looking forward to my upcoming surgery here soon. Yeah. That's going to be, this is the final stage, because you never stop transitioning. I don't think anybody ever stops transitioning. Mm-hmm. If you do, you stop learning. If you do, you stop living. Mm-hmm. So never think that it's over with after the SRS when you're post-op, because it's not. Okay, now the other one is plans for future relationships. pretty much with Steffi on this. I am at this point in time, over 23 years ago, decided I'm not interested in a relationship at all until I am complete, and I pretty much stuck to that. I have my sister Stephenie here, and I have a lot of other friends who are very positive in accepting me. My father accepted me prior to his having passed away, which was another positive, even though it was a sad loss. So, as far as relationships are concerned, we'll see. Nobody knows what is going to be your tune. I can tell you right now that I'm pretty much still attracted to women, but I think that is also partly patternistic from having been had to fake who I was for an awful long time, and society kind of leading the way. Okay, who are you looking for? The answer, as again, no, I'm not looking for anybody. I have my sister Steffi, whom I love very much, and she loves me too. And we have a lot of plans for the future. We have a lot of plans to unfold that we're going to be sharing with each and every one of you. Other comments. Well, I'd like to thank GenderBlenders #1 for allowing me to share this time with Steffi here. This is a wonderful channel, and I'm very, very happy to be here. And we look forward to possibly being together and joining together with her in the future to cover and answer other questions that you may have regarding transsexuality. I also like to thank That's So Gay Live for being the support and being a sponsor of both Steffi and I, and for the LGBT network, national network that they have started. And we're vividly trying to help them grow. We have TransTube, and we have other programming that we're getting ready to get started, which is going to be another positive outlook. So make sure all of you get on board.
The links are down below.
Yeah. Get on board, because That's So Gay Live has a lot to offer all of us, and we need to all join hands together. Yeah. So, thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm going to turn it back over to you and let you conclude this one, and I'll just stand here and listen.
Okay. Well, now that gives you a couple of different perspectives on this week's topic. So now I have a question for you folks. What are your takes on relationships? What do you prefer? Leave us a comment or two. You can write down there, write the comments out. Usually I'll go back and answer the things. Okay? So write the little comments out. Leave us a video response. Anything like that. So that's, what's your take on this? So that's us for this week. Until next week, this is Steffi.
And Stephanie.
Saying bye-bye, everybody.